Hi and welcome back. Um, wow, you're getting so many videos so often. Isn't it a joy? Um, Fortunately, my car is in a shop again, giving me a bunch of attitude. So I got extra free time. That and I have like no social life. So yeah, there's no hotties on me right now. So but you get to see the cardboard project, or the how cheap can we be today? So I've done a lot of work on this thing basically because to go full scale with making these panels requires a lot of these little strips for the backbone of everything. And so I wanted to focus my efforts on the design aspect of it and less on the manual label part of it. So trying to come up with ways of like waterproofing, toughing it, making it tough, making a fastener system that we can connect these things, efficiently and very strong. So that's who I am. This is one of the earlier. The outer perimeter is this thick, very thin cardboard. It's very dense. It's got two layers on the outside and one on the inside. It's double layer with a center core, but it's effectively very dense and it acts like an outer shell to the basic cardboard. Because the name of the game is to keep the water out. So my first attempt was I made the panel with the inner layer being about three sheets of cardboard thick, and then 5 sheets going stacked in this orientation this way, and it's like wrapped around. And then as a finishing it up, I glued the 3 layers to the outside. And I used a router to cut it down. But the problem about that is we have this exposed area, which would be like a wicking kind of effect, where it would just any chance that water could get in, that would be a quick and easy fail point. So to avoid that, so my new idea is basically to come on. Before we had the outer edge like this, and then this would be the thick cardboard. This is like just like a cross section. That's what you're seeing, and so that's one of these sheets. And then I put these strips, and this is like front view, and then top view here would be something like this. And then this would be the stiff cardboard, and then in this you have 5 of them stacked this way towards you, and then same thing in this direction, and that would build the edge. And then once that was done, then I attached those 3 sheets to the very outer. And what I think I need to do instead is build this part first and then insert the 3 sheets of cardboard in this protective area, completely wraps around it. And then I can start doing doing basically this here, and that will, so you'll have, this will be completely wrapping around, forming this edge. And then once everything is done, and it's going to look like something like this as far as the building process to get to that point there. And then we'll take the panel and we'll have it in this orientation, just basically horizontal. And then we'll wrap, I'm thinking maybe Tyvek, just a thin layer of Tyvek around the outside. And then it'll be epoxied. So this whole thing will be epoxied. So you have a thin epoxy shell of a Tyvek. Tyvek is some incredibly tough stuff. So that's going to help for strength, for tearing it and whatnot. And I think it's somewhat waterproof in and of itself, but then coating it with the epoxy is going to give it a nice outer shell. And that's going to keep rain and then, sun beating on it and stuff. And that would be, once it dries, then it can be, put up onto wherever. And then I have an idea for bolting it. So you could have one here like this, and you want to join it to another one. Well, if you were to put a bolt through it to attach like this, and you apply force here against this, then here is going to want to go apart, and here is going to want to compress, and right here is going to just basically bend. So I'm trying to come up with a way that takes the two ends and spreads it out somehow with cables. So you have a cable coming up like this, and another cable coming down like this, and it'll be attached to some kind of block, and it'll be attached to some kind of mechanism that can put tension on this whole system. So from a cross section standpoint, so going with a traditional bolt, it will look something like this. You have one bolt here trying to resist the force of it going up and down, and then I'm going to try to come up with a way so you're not connecting it in there. We'll connect it through, like I said, 4 cables. They'll come through, and so it basically spreads the force out. So instead of being this small square half-inch or a quarter-inch or whatever that is, it would almost utilize this whole surface area as leverage. So as it's being forced down this direction, how strong you have your cable, and they can be rated up to like 1,000 pounds, 2,000, 12,000 pounds, whatever you can deal with as far as how thick of a cable come over here. The non-metallic ones are actually the best. The synthetic fiber ones, they're super lightweight and they're super strong, and they have the ability to stretch where metal ones might be brittle and snap on you. So it's got that advantage too. So, but you can get some really high tensile strength cables. I think Dyneema, I'll put like a little thing over here. Dyneema type rope is super strong. So if you can have a thing going like this, that way you can attach panels, and maybe you could have like a 3D printed part here and another 3D printed part here, and then like a bolt, and then some way of tightening this whole get up. So connecting them, waterproofing them, making them strong. Yeah, cardboard the next engineered cardboard is what we're going with. All right, that's it for today.